Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling something I think we've all experienced getting a bunch of instructions from a doctor or a physical therapist and just feeling lost. We're going to deconstruct that pile of paper and turn it into a real actionable plan. Let's get into it. Yeah, if you've ever walked out of a PT's office with a stack of handouts that look just like this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Your head is spinning, and it feels like a totally random list of things to do. But I promise you, there's a method to the madness. Today, we're turning that chaos into a crystal clear blueprint. So, our first mission is to create that recovery blueprint. We're going to organize all these different exercises into a logical framework. That way, you'll get not just what you're supposed to do, but more importantly, why you're doing it. It all has to make sense. All right, so where do you even begin with all this? Well, like building a house, every single good recovery plan starts with the foundation. And for your body, that means focusing on your core and your internal systems before you even think about anything else. This quote on the slide just hits the nail on the head. Think about it. A strong, stable core is what supports every single thing you do, from lifting a bag of groceries to just walking up the stairs. If that base is wobbly, everything you try to build on top of it is going to be wobbly too. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Recovery isn't just about the muscles you can see and feel, right? It's a whole body process. On the left, yeah, you've got your standard lumbar exercises for your lower back. But look at the right. It's highlighting the body's internal lymphatic system. Both of these are absolutely key for healing. And all of that really boils down to this one key idea: core stability. When you see exercises like the bridge or brace supine marching, this is what they're all about. They're designed specifically to build that control and to teach all those little muscles how to work together to keep your spine safe and stable. Okay, so once that foundation is solid, what's next? Well, now we can start building on top of it. This is where targeted strength training comes in. And you'll see there's a real logic to it. We're going to work from the ground up. And we're going to start literally from the ground up with the lower body. This is so important for your balance, your ability to walk, and just for those basic everyday movements we take for granted, like getting out of a chair. Okay, let's take a look at an exercise like the lateral monster walk. The instructions here are super specific. 3 sets of 10 reps, 4 times a week. See, it's that level of detail that turns a simple movement into an actual scientific plan for building strength and endurance over time. All right, let's move on up the body to upper body control. These exercises are all about strengthening your shoulders and arms, which, we use constantly for everything from lifting and reaching to carrying things around. And this right here is a brilliant example of precision. You're using a simple tool, a small free weight, but look at the instruction, a 3-second hold. That tiny little detail is everything. It's designed to maximize how much your muscles are engaged and to build control, not just raw strength. But recovery isn't just about lifting heavy things or working the big muscles. A huge part of it, and one that often gets overlooked, is about the small stuff, the fine motor control, especially in our hands. And check this out. This sheet is a perfect example. You're using something as simple as therapeutic putty, but look at the incredible range of movements. Every single one is designed to rebuild something different. Grip strength, dexterity, all that fine-tuned coordination in your hands and fingers. I mean, just look at how specific this gets. A big, powerful fist squeeze is working completely different muscles and pathways than a delicate little fingertip pinch. Each one of these is targeting a unique piece of what makes our hands so amazing. Okay, so we've talked about the what and the why of the exercises, but what about the how? What kind of gear do you actually need for all this? Let's take a look at the tools of the trade. Resistance bands. I mean, these are pretty much the superstar of any PT toolkit, and for a really good reason. They're the cornerstone of at-home recovery because they give you this variable resistance that's super easy to control, and they're cheap, and you can take them anywhere. Now, here's the secret sauce to using these things correctly. You've got to know the color code. It's pretty universal. It goes from yellow for extra light all the way up to black for extra heavy. This simple system is what allows you or your therapist to slowly and safely crank up the difficulty as you get stronger. And all this talk about starting with a lighter band and moving up, it all leads to maybe the single most important idea in any recovery plan: progression. It's not about just doing the same thing over and over. It's about how you get stronger over time. So what does that actually look like?
Well, this slide shows it perfectly. On day one, you might be doing a sit to stand using your hands on your thighs for support. But the goal over time is to progress to the version on the right, doing that exact same motion with no support at all. That's progress.
And progress isn't just about making an exercise harder, it's also about how often you do it. You might start out doing it just once a day, but as you get stronger, you bump it up to 4 times a week. That consistency is what really builds strength and gets you those results. So let's just step back for a second. We took this pile of papers that looked kind of like a confusing mess, and we've turned it into a clear roadmap, right? We've shown that your recovery plan isn't a random list at all. It's a very structured journey. And now you've got the map. And that's really the big takeaway here, because when you understand the why behind your plan, the blueprint, the tools, the progression, it changes everything. You're not just a patient following orders anymore. You become an active, empowered driver of your own recovery. And that's what it's all about.